In 1872, Native Americans had already spent nearly half a century locked in conflict with the United States Army, which relentlessly pushed the country's borders westward. During these years, the U.S. government vigorously pursued the policy of manifest destiny, the belief that white settlers were divinely ordained to occupy the entire continent. Yet behind this doctrine lay thousands of shattered lives, dismantled tribes, and a vanishing culture. In 1876, fate would record one of the most dramatic events of this era, the Battle of the Little Bighorn, led by the Sioux chiefs Sitting Bull and the young charismatic warrior Crazy Horse. A coalition of Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho warriors decisively defeated Lieutenant Colonel George Custer's 7th Cavalry. It was one of the greatest military victories Native Americans ever achieved against U.S. forces, but also a prelude to further suffering. In retaliation, the U.S. government unleashed a wave of reprisals, hunting down and punishing the Sioux with brutal force. By the 1880s, the vast majority of Native peoples had been confined to reservations, small plots of land that bore little resemblance to their ancestral territories. The federal government implemented a so-called civilization policy aimed at forcibly re-educating Native Americans. Children were taken from their families and sent to off-reservation boarding schools, where they were forbidden to speak their native languages, wear traditional clothing, or practice their spiritual rites. In their place, they were taught English, converted to Christianity, and molded into proper American citizens. The Dawes Act of 1887 ostensibly sought to integrate Native Americans into mainstream society by allotting individual parcels of tribal land. In reality, it enabled the government to seize surplus reservation land and sell it to white settlers. Over the next 2 decades, Native peoples were stripped of more than 90 million acres of their remaining territory. Yet even amid such relentless dispossession, the spiritual heartbeat of Native nations refused to be extinguished. In 1890, a new religious movement swept through the plains, the ghost dance. Its prophets promised that, through sacred dancing, the dead would return, the white invaders would vanish, and the buffalo herds would once again roam free.